Nobody sees the promises you break to yourself. That is the quiet part nobody talks about. You tell the room you are going to change, and you mean it while you are standing there. But the promise that actually runs your life is the one you make alone, in the dark, with no witness. Tonight, I stop at 1. Tomorrow I make the call, Monday I start, and then the moment comes, and you fold, and nobody knows but you. So you file it away with all the others, and the stack gets a little taller. And something in you quietly learns a lesson you never meant to teach it. My word to myself means nothing. That is where confidence actually lives, or dies. Not in the mirror pep talk, not in the guy online screaming at you to be unstoppable. Confidence is the residue of promises kept. It is the quiet evidence, stacked up over time, that when you tell yourself you will do a thing, the thing gets done. You have been trying to feel confident, so you can finally act. It runs the other way. You act in small, honest reps, and the confidence shows up later as a byproduct. It was never the fuel. It was always the exhaust. Hear this before anything else, because it changes how the rest lands. You are not uniquely broken for this. Every man alive has a graveyard of promises he made to himself and buried by noon. The guy you envy has one too. Breaking your word to yourself is not proof that you are weak. It is proof that you have been making promises the size of a mountain to a man who is not yet trained to climb a hill. You swore you would overhaul your whole life on a Tuesday. Of course it collapsed. That was not a character flaw. That was bad engineering. Now the turn, so take it clean. A man who keeps his word to himself is not a different species. He was not born with a spine you did not get. He built self-trust the only way it gets built. One promise so small it was almost embarrassing, kept anyway, on a day he did not feel like it. That is the whole secret. Not the size of the promise, the keeping of it. Self-trust is not a feeling you find lying around. It is a reputation you earn with the one person who is always watching, you. So stop negotiating with the mountain. You do not need to change your life today. You need to make one promise so small that failing it is not even on the table. And then keep it. Not 10. 1. I will make my bed before I leave the room. I will drink 1 glass of water before I touch the phone. I will walk to the end of the street and back. It sounds like nothing. It is not nothing. It is a vote. Every kept promise is a single vote for a man who does what he says, and you are so far in the red on those votes that one honest vote today will feel like a lie. Cast it anyway. Because here is what stacks. You keep the small one today, and it barely registers. You keep it again tomorrow, and something small shifts under the surface. By the end of the week, you have 4 or 5 kept promises behind you, and for the first time in a long time, a quiet part of you starts to believe the next one. That belief is not hype. It is earned. It has receipts. And a man with receipts stops needing to pump himself up because he's no longer guessing whether he will show. He knows. He has watched himself do it. You are going to break some. Let me say that plainly so it does not ambush you. There will be a day you fold on the small thing and the old voice will show up right on time to tell you, this proves the whole thing was fake. It does not. One missed promise is not the verdict. It is a single missed vote in an election that is still running. The man who wins this is not the one who never breaks his word. He's the one who breaks it and comes back the next morning and casts the vote anyway, without the drama, without the week of punishing himself. The comeback is the skill, not the streak. So do not wait to feel like a man who believes in himself. That man does not exist yet, and he is not going to knock. You make him. Pick the promise you cannot fail, keep it before you sleep tonight, and let it count. Then get up tomorrow and keep the next one. That's not a nice idea. That is the actual machine that builds a man who trusts himself. Small word, kept. Small word, kept again. That is confidence, and it was always in your hands. You found a mentor today, not a hype man. I am not going to tell you that you are unstoppable. I am going to tell you to keep one small promise and come back tomorrow and keep another. If this hit you, subscribe and ride with us daily. No comfort, just discipline.
Subscribe. Tomorrow, you drive stronger.